Hello, hey guys. Hello. Hello. Hey, thank you guys for the heart meets. Thank you so much. Thank you. I just figured I'd pop on, guys. I got a minute. I got a break from work. So I just figured, hey, why not? I figured I would pop on. Hello, Susie. Hey, Onward. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Magical Eyes. Thank you, guys, for that. Thank you. Hey, Holly. Hey, Angel. Hello. Hey, Diane. Thank you so much for being here. Hello. Hey, Ashley. Thank you, guys, so much. Thank you. I appreciate it. Hello. Hey. Thank you, Christy. Thank you. Thank you, Diane. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Stacy. Thank you, Misty Lee. Thank you, guys, so much. I appreciate it. Thank you. How is everybody, guys? Thank you, Holly. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Hey, Chrissy in Texas. Hello. Thank you, Auntie TT. I appreciate it. Thank you, guys. So, y'all, what's going on this? Hey, Felicia. Hello. Hey, Crafting in the UK. Thank you, Sandra, for the heart me. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you. How is everybody? Thank you, Vicky. Thank you so much. Thank you, Gina Lynn. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Misty. I appreciate you guys. Thank you, Auntie. UK. Oh, you're in the UK too, Marshall. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you, Riverbones. Thank you. I'm good. I'm doing good. So I just found out my first granddaughter, guys, if she doesn't come, before then, is going to be induced on the 18th. So I'm super excited. Super excited. Hey, Sam. So, yeah. I'm super excited about that. I still got 2 weeks. My kids got 2 weeks left, maybe like a week and a half left of school. And guys, I'm going to live it up. So I'm sure it's going to be a little crazy. And then we're going to have the new baby. But man, I'm blessed. I can't complain. I love it when you wear your hair down. So yeah, every once in a while I decide to do my hair. Although my hair is naturally really curly. And so it takes a minute, guys. So I don't always have the time to do it, but when I do, I do it. I try to, especially if I got somewhere to go and things to do. So I appreciate you guys for all of that. So y'all, let's talk about the ring. What's going on with Gypsy's ring? Hold on one second. Oh, all right, River, that's fine. Hey, Hollow Mom, how are you? Man, you're jealous of my curls, Sandra. Man, they're not easy to keep up with. Her candle ring. It sure was for funsies. We went and tried them on in hopes that Ken might one day propose, but let's be real, y'all. He ain't proposing. I don't see it. Attention seeking. Cuss word. That's so funny. Someone just said, Angel, you have really curly too. Man, the curly hair is something crazy, especially if the weather doesn't cooperate, because I can go from curly to being a Q-tip in like 2 seconds flat. So sometimes it's just easier to throw it up. Thank God for the mom bun, because it kind of makes my life easy. I do not have an iPhone. I don't know why someone's asking me if I have an iPhone. I have an Android. The curls, or if you're driving in a car and you happen to open that window, then half of your hair is like poof, and the other hairs, it's wild. Oh man, the mom bun. Thank God that's a thing, guys. Or I would just be looking like a weirdo all the time. I called it a me, myself, and I engagement. Man, so Do you think that she was at the store trying those on, but let's be real. Look at the choice she made to take a picture of. Yo, I mean, what was that ring? I feel like that was something my kids would have, thank you so much. I feel like that's something my kids would have picked up at Claire's. That was like a Claire's ring. She was at Walmart, was she? Stop it. Who shops at Walmart? Come on, man. At first, I'm like, oh, man, usually people go to Jared. This one went to Lifetime. I thought Lifetime did it. But then when I saw the ring, listen, I know diamonds, though. That's one thing I do know. And they were not real. No, her ring was too fake looking. First of all, if you know diamonds, diamonds really aren't that shiny and you know what I mean? They're really not. I mean, you can get them like that, but I mean, not in a picture. You're not going to get them looking all shiny and like, it looked Claire's. Yeah. So, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I wouldn't even give it cubic zirconia at that point. I would just give it, I don't know. I don't even know. Not even that. But I'm waiting because people are always like looking into things she's looking at. I need someone to find me that ring and tell me how much it would have been. You're going to find it on Timo, Walmart. Man, I'm surprised nobody found that ring yet and was like, here it is. $12 at JCPenney, that's what I'm saying. Rhinestone from Michaels, for real. That's exactly it. That's exactly it, Future, that's it. Yeah, I know. Seriously, get your quarterback, man. Put it back in the machine, it's wild. I think I saw it somewhere, it was $22.50. Really? Man. It came out of a jewel scent candle. That's so funny. That's so funny. So no, they're not engaged because she went back. That was clickbait. She went back and was like, oh, we're not engaged. So yeah, she did that for clickbait. She needed some views. Let's all be real. Thank you, Yasmina. I appreciate it. She's got to stretch that $50 for real. That's so funny. You did find it at JCPenney? Man, that's wild. I feel like, why do you continue to embarrass yourself? She's upset that Mia and her man are so happy. Yeah, for real. Mia's getting the life. I mean, let's be real, guys. Mia got the life that she never had. So, of course, there's going to be some kind of jealousy there. Off topic, do you know why Ken got mad when she mentioned the big and little bathtubs? No, I don't know. But, I mean, we know y'all, I'm not even going to go there. I'm going to catch my mouth. If it was real, it would have been everywhere, all over the place. Yeah, let's be real. Yeah, it's wild. Stretched it at Salon Centric. I saw that. The big tub for my muscles. Yep. That's so funny, guys. I think it's wild. She would have called TMZ, People. She would have had interviews. All of the things, guys. All of the things. According to Google, he bought the ring for $275 at Zales. Man, does Zales even sell? I mean, that's wild. That's absolutely wild. Ken is walking karma. Ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth? Do you think she posted about a ring to get a reaction out of Ryan? Absolutely. I think she's jealous of the relationship. And I'm not saying a relationship like there is a specific relationship, but I think that she's jealous between the friendship, I'll say, between Amber J and Ryan. There's definitely jealousy. We know she's a jealous person, guys. We know she does jealousy like no other. So, yeah, I think that was kind of like a dig. Because we know that she couldn't dig back at Ryan because we were all watching, waiting for it, right? I think that was her dig at Ryan. She saw the last episode of season 2 and is trying to fool us now. Yeah, well, let's be real. Isn't she a producer on the show? It's her show. She knew exactly what was going to happen in that last episode. He lights up when he talks to Amber J and Gyp can't stand it. Y'all, how cute. I'm not going to lie, though. It was cute. He kind of blushed. Did y'all see him turning red during the live when Amber J popped up there? So I think just the reaction that he couldn't You know what I mean? He couldn't prevent, like that was just a natural reaction. He was blushing hard, Chrissy. And I think that that reaction was, it was an honest reaction. You can't fake that. And I think she got red herself, red with, green with envy. She got angry. So, yeah, it was cute on his part. But, Gypsy got mad as hell. And, Ken is sitting there watching it. But I'm going to go back with the fact that I don't care what anybody says. I don't care what proof you try, what so-called proof you try to come at me with. There is no doubt in my mind that Ken and Gypsy are not together. Thank you, Janie, for the follow. I appreciate you. There's no way that those two are together because it's just, guys, it's not relationship material. It's just, that's not working. That's not a relationship. And I think it's wild. Hey, Allison. So there's no way that I believe those two are actually in a relationship. I don't believe they're going to get married. You don't give ultimatums to somebody that you love, that you're looking to marry. That's just wild to me. So yeah, I really don't believe they're married. I don't care what they say, what Bree says, what Gypsy says. I don't care who posts what. In my mind, you can't convince me that those two are together in some perfect little love affair relationship. No, y'all, not even close. They're claiming to be married. Now, who's claiming to be married? Hold on, Squiggles. What's happening? What did I miss? That's why I think she's stringing, well, yeah, she always stringing someone along. I agree. Ken probably made her repost that ring thing. You know it. Because it's always Ken having to come to her rescue with the damage control. Oh, I was like, wait, they got married? Hold on. I didn't hear that rumor. That's so funny. Hey, Joanne, how are you? Ken is not going to marry her. It's so obvious that he's along for the ride. Guys, look at all of the interviews, even the desperation when they were like, what are you looking forward to in the future? And she's talking about, I want a ring. And, he never stated anywhere that he was going to marry her. He never stated that. I'm doing good, Darlene. How are you? Did she help Mia move in? Probably not. Let's be real. Even Mia said that she's lazy ass and sits there and does nothing. And I don't see her helping anybody do anything. Do you? Gypsy doesn't get off her lazy ass to do anything for anybody. Thank you, Snooter. I appreciate it. She's too lazy and she thinks she's better than. So, you know what I mean? Thank you, Bayou. I appreciate it. Thank you, Auntie TT. She misses that wheelchair. Exactly. She's always sitting there doing nothing, y'all. Let's be real. What is she doing? She's lazy. She couldn't. Hold on. Who is? Why does it look like that? Hold on. I gotta fix this. Oh, thank you.
Hey.
Hey, I gotta get this off. How do I get this off? Hold on. Why do I look like a dog?
I don't know.
Yeah, help me undog myself.
You're frozen.
Am I frozen? Why do I look like a dog?
No, I don't think you're frozen, but I think the mask is frozen on your face.
Why is there a mask on my face? Well, what kind of sorcery is happening here? All I did was accept you. And I'm looking like, I look like y'all remember Thundercats? Thundercats,
Yes.
Whoa! That's what I look like right now.
Yes.
Okay, can someone get the Thundercat off my face?
I don't know. I don't know. Somebody gift
It's
something.
not a gift. What is happening? Okay, we're just gonna do the live with me looking like a Thundercat.
Okay.
I don't even know what to do right now.
I wanted to say, yay!
I should have been a Thundercat though. Y'all remember them? I love the Thundercats.
I do too. Totally 80s, 90s, early 90s. Also, with her hair dye, Salon Centric commented today on my post saying they're investigating who sold her those products because they're for professionals only, and she was not supposed to purchase them because it's chemicals, like professional grade. So they did comment on my post about that.
Wait, Salon Centric did?
Yes.
And they said that she wasn't supposed to buy them?
No.
And they sold them to her anyway? How did they sell them to her?
An employee must have sold them to her that was not supposed to. And Redken could, somebody commented on my post, Redken can pull out of Salon Centric if that's the case. Because that's like a liability.
Do you have a video up?
I do. I will. Do you want me to email you really quick?
I'll go check it. Guys, y'all go check Samantha's video. How wild is that this company is out here pissed? That's so funny. Thank you, T. That's wild, guys. That's so wild.
So, and I definitely think like it's just every time she posts the ring, the hair dye, it just gets worse.
Yeah. What do you think they're gonna do? What can they do to her though for doing that?
I don't know if they can do anything, but I think it's concerning that the employee may have allowed it because of who she is, and they don't care. They said, oh, a celebrity is not even supposed to. She's not a celebrity, but they did state, like, just because basically around the thing of just because she's Gypsy does not mean she's allowed to. Just because she has a show.
Oh, someone's getting fired. That's so funny. That's wild. That's crazy, man. How embarrassing. How embarrassing. Where's my orange cat? Lou is sleeping on his new chair. He just likes his chair. He's there.
I just thought I'd come up for a second. I won't be long because it's bloody 2 a.m. here in Australia. But I was watching something the other day and it made me think it's something that like we don't talk about enough. And you probably know a fair bit about this, Ivory. But I was watching a girl talking about how she was medically kidnapped when she was a child and she had like a genetic disorder. She had to get a geneticist in to speak at her trial because her mother was being charged by CPS for child endangerment, and they tried to say she had Munchausen by proxy. So the geneticist said that it's actually really common for children with genetic illnesses, microdeletions, chromosome variants, for their parents to go through this and for them to actually be kidnapped from their parents. And I feel like Dee Dee's a victim of this after death. And there's a broader problem, and Gypsy's now contributing to that. If you have a look into like how many children have been medically kidnapped and then released back to their parents because they were wrong, it's super common.
Oh wow! I
Yeah.
have to look into that.
I'm going to look into some of the stats, which could be a little bit hard because I'm not sure if there are enough statistics on how many parents get engaged with CPS and then they get let out. Yeah, I'm not sure if they record that well, but I'll try and I'll make a video and I'll tag you in it.
Yes, please.
No worries. Yeah, I thought I'd just come up and say that. It's been on my mind. It's been playing on my mind a bit lately. So
Oh
yeah,
wow. Yeah, that's definitely something to look into.
just more harm that I think she could be doing. She could be perpetuating this narrative that gets children taken off of their parents who are trying to get care for them with similar disorders,
Yeah.
because it's already an issue.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, this girl was locked in the hospital for 2 weeks and then given to foster care. She
Oh
didn't
wow.
see her mum for weeks. Another girl, her mum, she was medically kidnapped, and they said that they wouldn't release her back to her home if her mother was in the home. because this trial went on for years, and her mother unalived herself
I was just gonna
as a
say
result.
that's the one whose mother unalived herself. I remember watching that documentary.
Yeah. So
I
the
remember
first one
watching.
wasn't her. She, her parents ended up getting her back, but she said, like, as soon as they called the geneticist place, they had lawyers already ready for cases like this because it's that common that some lawyers specialize in medical kidnapping for, these types of disorders, like the one that Gypsy has. That's how common it is.
Mm, wow. Yeah, I want to look into that. I never thought about that.
Yeah,
That
just
makes so
causing.
sense.
Yeah, I just thought it's just another form of harm that she's like causing to society. So,
Yeah.
and another explanation for those, notes in her medical records too.
Yeah. Yep.
The note in her medical records, I should say.
The one note. Of all
Yeah.
the medical records, the one note.
Yep. All right. Thanks for having me up.
Thank you for coming
Have
up. I
a
appreciate it.
have a lovely day, everyone. I'll let you drop me because I think it's better for your algorithm if you drop me.
Okay.
Thanks, Squiggles.
Yes, Wiggles, get some sleep. Hey, Mercy. Wow. That's a wild thought. That really is. Somebody just asked me to come up. Hold on. Carrie, was that you who asked me to come up?
Yeah, how are you girls doing today?
Good. How are you?
Good. I always watch you all the time. So I talked to my aunt, she's a hairdresser, and she said what's gonna happen is a lot of times they don't check for their license or they'll like show the license, but they don't go into detail to see if it matches up. But what's sad is that girl is definitely gonna lose her job. Gypsy will probably get away with it.
Of
And then
course.
whoever the hairdresser is could possibly get her license revoked. So two people are going to go down and Gypsy's going to get away with it. And I think it's messed up because they're being nice, doing this favor for her. She will get away with it. And the person that checked her out and the hairdresser that let her borrow her license are both going to get in a lot of trouble.
The one's going to lose their job, the other's going to lose their
Yes,
job.
the one that works at Salon Centric will lose her job because she didn't do the proper what she needed to do to confirm, and the hairstylist that allowed her to use her thing. She will have to go up against the board and explain to them how Gypsy got a hold of her license to begin with.
I
Wow.
think, and I think Gypsy should get in trouble because
No, I
one
agree.
have to use somebody else's license, but that goes also towards any other job. If you really think about it, if you do something that goes against corporate and it gets called out, you do get fired.
Right.
So
Like the gal that lent her license to Gypsy, she should absolutely know better. Without a doubt,
So,
you know better.
so let me
But
ask you
I
this.
feel bad for the girl that checked her out there because,
for sure.
she probably it was probably just like okay, great, just kind of glanced at it, and she's gonna definitely lose her job. The hairstylist, she should know better. So she has to take the consequences that are coming to her because she absolutely knows better. But Gypsy, on the other hand, sorry, I've been vacuuming and cleaning.
You're okay.
Gypsy, on the other hand, she may have used somebody else's license, but the punishment doesn't come as hard as the other two.
Yeah.
So, and that's what's sad because everything that Gypsy touches goes to she destroys. Like anybody that comes into her life, she destroys.
Yeah. So I just want to make sure that I'm getting this straight. Salon Centric, in order to go in there and buy something, you need to have a cosmetology license.
Yes.
Absolutely, yeah.
And so in order for her to have gone in the store where she filmed, in the store buying it, right? She did film
Yeah.
it. were buying it, she had to have had somebody's license, and because she did that, somebody's losing their license, and whoever checks her out is getting. Now, does it have a picture on it? Is it like an ID?
That's what I'm wondering.
So it's a paper. It's a paper that has your license number on it. And what happens is they ask for your ID that matches to the paper that has your name on it.
Oh.
Yeah.
I see. I just wanted to make sure I was getting clear how that whole thing worked.
Right.
Man, see, I did not know that originally.
Right.
So, man, she just continues to collect these victims all over the
Right.
place.
Right. And that's what's sad because these people are going down for, being nice or trying to help out, not in and what's sad is, Gypsy's gotten away with so much on parole and she'll get away with this because in their eyes, it was just a friend helping out a friend. It's not like Gypsy went and actually stole this license from somebody. So the world will look at it as, oh, well, her friend gave it to her. She really didn't steal anything. So most likely she won't even get a slap on the hand for that.
And someone just said there's a Salon Centric in Metairie. Wow.
Yeah, I'm not sure if she went to Salon Centric. I don't know about that.
What somebody I saw who was a professional licensed cosmetologist, they did a video. I can't remember her name, but she did say the background and the logos were Salon Centric colors that they use, like the end caps and stuff like that is Salon Centric. Now, I know I researched the Redken developer and people were like, oh, you can order it from Sally's online. That Sally's is in the UK that people are pulling up. It's not the US. And the Redken developer from Walmart is not the ones that she had.
Right, and Redken only sells shampoo, conditioner to the public. Like you can only get shampoo, conditioner, serum for your hair. It's never actual chemical products like that. What she's using, she doesn't know chemicals. When you mix chemicals, it becomes dangerous because you don't know if it's going to heat up. Because I know a lot of times if you use the
burn your scalp, your skin, yeah.
Right. And if let's say that happened to Gypsy and she messed up, it would be on Salon Centric. She could have a lawsuit against them because even though she was the one in the wrong, she could sue them for selling that to her. She gets the narrative.
That's wild.
I know.
Full of that, and your hair came out like crap.
Yep.
And that
she spent more on products and things that she didn't need. She didn't need that little cape thing. Throw a towel over yourself. Like, you know what I mean? She didn't need all that. I think she did it for show. And she spent a lot. She probably could have spent another $50 and had it done professionally. Now she's left with all this product. She's not going to do it again.
I was wondering that. How much did she spend on those products?
Oh, probably almost $200 with everything included because she bought 3 different types of hair dye, 3 different volumes of a developer, and then probably the toner. That's a lot of money.
Deborah said she has a card to shop there. It was probably close to $800.
Oh, wow.
I'm not sure, but I know on Salon...
It's in the hundreds. Why not just get it professionally done?
That's what I'm saying.
Like, who's trying to play with... I could never. First of all, the only time I'll dye my hair at home is if it comes in a box because it's pretty much dumb-proof, okay? I'm gonna be real. It's pretty much dumb-proof. But when you start talking about chemicals and bleaches and nope, I don't even try to act like I could do that.
There's all different people are saying different prices. I'm not sure. read off what somebody said, but I do know, like, that's a giant. Redken is not cheap. Like, I
Yeah.
love their shampoo and hair products, and it's not, you know, cheap. So I don't know. I know is Salon Centric like wholesale? Do you guys know?
Yeah. So basically, that's where a lot of hairstylists go and buy all everything that they need, like the bleach, the toners, instead of I guess going online. So they're kind of like the middleman, you know. But I wanted to say, I think she did it because she always has to play a new part in her life. Like she was a mommy influencer and then makeup and all these different things. And it's not working out. So she thought, okay, let me try to play this part and see if it works. You know, I do believe she has multiple personalities.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. And I think each different personality wants to do something different. And that whoever personality that was, it was let's dry my hair.
Hairstylist personality, the
Yeah,
cosmetologist.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I was saying this in another live. I was like, imagine, and they told me you shouldn't have said that, but imagine if something were to happen and she were to claim, "Oh, I don't remember my lies or my stories because I do have multiple personalities and each personality remembers things different."
Right.
You know? So I wouldn't be surprised if she comes out with something like that. Like I have been diagnosed with multiple personalities, and each one remembers things different. That's how she's going to cover up her lies. Watch. Because
Man,
my
that's
brother
funny.
actually had another personality, you know,
Oh,
before he took his life. Yeah, he
oh, I'm
did.
sorry.
Thank you. He had another personality. His name was John, and I watched it for years, and it was a trip to see this other personality come out and talk. Like his other personality, John, was a soldier. He fought in World War II, and he would tell stories about World War II. It was crazy, you know, and John was the good one and Joey was the bad one. It was wild.
Let me ask you this because I always found that so interesting. Okay. Okay. I got a little one coming home from school with a sore throat.
Uh-oh.
Um, but um, with the did were they aware of each other, the personalities?
Yes. Yes, my
So
brother was fully aware of John. But he didn't always remember what John would talk about. It wasn't always he remembered, but he remembers John coming out. And then he would remember Joey coming back. Not all the time, but there were times to where he just sat there and then go into a daze and sit there for a couple seconds and then look at me and be like, wait, what were we talking about? And I'd be like, no, we weren't talking about anything. It was me and John. And he'd be like, "Oh, well, what was said? What was he talking about?" And then I would tell him, and he'd be like, "Oh, okay." But John would convince my brother, his name was Joey. John would convince Joey that Joey was bad and John was the good one, and John did good things. When in fact, it was opposite. When he
wow,
became John, it was like it was like literally if it wasn't my brother's face and body, it was a completely different person. It's like it's not even a joke when people say, "Oh, they have multiple personalities," because if they do, it can be very scary because
right.
you don't know what the other personality is capable of.
Yeah. I always wondered if maybe she did have multiple personalities and was hiding it, but I feel
Hmm.
like it's really hard to hide. You
It's
know what I
hard to
mean?
hide multiple personalities because they
Yeah.
come out of the blue.
Yeah.
They could be doing whatever and then bam, sometimes it doesn't even need to be a trigger. It just happens. And so there was, when we be having fun with my brother and playing cards or whatever, and then bam, next thing I know, John's come to play and he's talking all this craziness. So I do recognize the multiple personalities that Gypsy Rose has, without a doubt. She's not mentally there.
Wow. Yeah, I'm so sorry about that. I don't mean to
Me
like
too.
just the way the brain works like that is just very interesting to me.
Yeah, I think they need to do more. They really need to do a lot of research on it, what causes it. And from what my brother went through, my brother was in and out of mental institutions 50 times since he was 12 years old. That's the first time he tried to take his life.
Oh wow.
But John didn't come out until his early 20s. That's when John came out. And then he had schizophrenia too. So, but his psychologist would, they think it is some form of childhood trauma because our father took his life when we were young.
Oh
And
my
my brother obsessed with that. Like he was so obsessed with my dad taking his life that that was like his main focus of things.
I'm
So,
so sorry, Carrie.
yeah, I'm
oh,
so
thank you. I
sorry.
appreciate it. Before I really like when I was younger, I didn't understand what depression was. And in the 80s, they really didn't do a lot of research on depression. It wasn't talked about. But when
Yeah,
I
you're
watched
just
my
sad.
brother, yeah, when I watched my brother go through it, I still didn't really understand until I went through a bad spout of depression. I didn't leave my room for a year and a half, in a dark room for a year and a half straight, only to go to the bathroom and eat every once in a while. It wasn't until then that I realized this is a dark place and you have blinders on. You literally have blinders on to your family and your loved ones. You just want the pain to end right there, you know?
Oh
So
wow.
I understand now. I don't understand the different personalities other than watching my brother go through it, you know? And
Yeah.
it's, you feel so helpless. But the thing is that my brother was aware of his mental health issues and he went and sought help for it. You know, he wasn't feeling right. He was on so many different medications. And here's the thing difference with Gypsy. She's a narcissist. So nothing can be wrong with her.
Right.
There can't be any mental health issues, absolutely nothing. And that's what's keeping her from getting the help that she truly needs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think like even her showing that ring was a big indicator when she had to switch the post. Oh, I'm just trying them on. It's she's
Right,
because Mia is having good things happen to
right.
her, and every time Mia posts something good that happens, like her and her boyfriend, Mia's and her boyfriend's anniversary,
Right.
Gypsy
She
has to
has to one
post.
up her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she
And that
needs to
right there
have
is
it.
dangerous.
Thank you, Charlotte, for the follow. I appreciate it.
That right there is dangerous too. That jealousy causes rage. And we all know that she has rage inside of her. And you know how she has talked, and other people have said that Gypsy's very impulsive? It's okay to be impulsive, but not with
Thank you,
the
Queen.
background Gypsy has. Her impulsiveness is very dangerous. And she has
Yeah.
admitted that on the show. Ryan has said that. I think her dad and Ken say Gypsy does what Gypsy wants to do. That is a very dangerous game they're playing. And I don't think they realize it.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
They don't
With
realize how dangerous that
Follow. I
is.
appreciate it.
And
well,
she's absolutely jealous of that baby.
yeah. Well, the thing is when you become a mother, I think all of us can agree it's not about you anymore.
Right.
It's not. It will never be about you anymore.
Right.
And that's why like mental health is really important for um mothers, and making sure
And
that
that's
they're okay. But
right, and that's why she needs even more help right now. The way that she looked, I don't know if you guys paid attention, but the way her behavior was when she was telling Ken, "Well, I can't hold her all the time." Did you see how she looked to the right and then swung over to him? That right there is a disconnection because I don't know about you guys, but when my babies were first born, I didn't even want to put them down.
Yeah.
I'm so obsessed, especially your firstborn. You're
Yep.
and you're scared. You're like, gosh, if I do later, she's so worried about SIDS, right? She said that on the show. Then that baby would never leave her side. That baby would be, she'd be on top of it 24/7. She wouldn't be complaining to Ken saying, well, I can't hold her all the time. That right there is such a red flag.
Well, who leaves their baby for days when they're first born? I could never.
I
I
could
don't care
never.
how much money was on the line. Never. Never.
Nope. It
I
took
remember-
me 3 years to leave my kids with the babysitter. Like my anniversary would come around and we wouldn't go out to dinner. We wouldn't do anything, you know, because I was not ready to leave my newborn behind.
Yeah.
So, funny story. My husband was on leave from deployment because my son was a newborn and he went on leave, and we were supposed to go to dinner and a movie, just the two of us. And I took my baby to my mom's. We ate dinner for 45 minutes. Like, I scarfed that dinner down and I was like, okay, let's go pick him up. And I got back there. My mom was like, what the heck? And I'm like, okay, give me my baby. Bye.
I was the first, it had to have been almost, I want to say about 8 or 9 months when me and my husband would go out for the first time without my daughter when she was born. And literally, I was on the phone. I left the baby with my older sister and my father. Both had children. And when I tell you, I was calling every 10 seconds. Finally, it was, you want to just take the food and go? And we took the food and went. Because we were both like, just call, make sure everything's okay. Oh, is the formula there? Like, is she napping? Like, just make sure she's not covered and there's no pillow in the bassinet. You know what I mean? It was pure panic. We both were just like, let's just go home, take the baby.
Right. And especially with your firstborn, because you're very new to it, you know, and you are learning their cries and their tantrums and everything. And having somebody else, they're not going to understand their cries if they're just throwing a tantrum, you know, like and there's mothers out there that are able to do that. And I'm not, you know, saying anything negative. It's just that you can tell when a mother's completely disconnected from their child, because she doesn't say my baby. Oh, my little girl, my baby. It's always Aurora.
Mm-hmm.
Even when she was pregnant, you know.
Yeah.
She had no connection. Like, I don't know. It's just weird to me.
I think she had more connection with that baby kangaroo.
Man, did you see her with that darn kangaroo? Man, why couldn't it be a possum? Was anybody else thinking it? Because I was totally thinking it. Why couldn't that damn thing be a possum?
Right.
You know what's funny?
That would have just been
video, but Danny DeVito and how he played Penguin in Batman. Does she not look like him?
She really does. Yeah.
that was so, first of all, that was the most boring trip to a safari that I've ever seen in my freaking life. I mean, they sat there, they filmed nonsense, like it was just so freaking boring.
Honestly, I feel like it's when she was a kid, whenever she would come into a room, everybody would applaud or everybody would make a big deal about her. I don't think that's ever left her. And I don't honestly think that she thinks she's boring. I think she's still back in that era of her life where she is just shocked that people wouldn't be excited with just her walking into a space, with her filming every single thing that she does. I feel like she thinks the public needs it.
No, I agree. And I think with her deletion, it has caused some delay in maturity. Absolutely delay in maturity, but that's still not an excuse for her behavior. Because
A lot of her delay in maturity is absolute narcissism.
yeah, absolutely. But when she left off, when she went to prison, she didn't, here's the thing, she never got the help that she absolutely needed in prison on what happens. Anybody that commits that kind of crime should be a no matter what, you're getting therapy for what you did. There is no backing out of it. You have no choice. This is part of your sentence and your parole, that you have to do this, you know, and they didn't. And so therefore, Gypsy was never made to look at things differently as to what she did wrong. Because in her mind, she is justified. And another thing is, people are saying the phone calls, she never once talked about being abused. I'll tell you why, because it wasn't brought up that they're going to use MPP as a defense. So she couldn't talk about abuse because that she didn't know at the time that was going to be her defense. That's why
Right.
she didn't talk about abuse.
First of all, if she was actually abused when she testified for Nick, and they asked her, "Why did you kill your mother?" Her response wasn't because I endured so much suffering because of the abuse. It
Right.
wasn't because I wanted to live. I was afraid she was going to kill me. It was nothing like that.
Right. And
Her
she had already pled guilty.
Her testimony was, I wanted to get out of my mother's reach, out of her hold. That
Well,
was
I
her.
think she wanted out because she didn't want to care for her mom. I think her mom was severely disabled, and Gypsy became the caretaker, and Gypsy wanted none of it. She wanted to live her life.
See, I don't agree with that.
No?
You're wrong. I just have a different outlook on it. I feel like it was the whole I need to be with men thing. I think the hypersexuality came into such a play with her, and that Dee Dee knew that she was a danger to herself, looking up for these men online and being with these men. And Dee Dee really put her foot down with, you can't be with these men, which is why Dee Dee said to her, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know that you'll ever be married. I don't know that you'll ever have, because look at the way you act. Like, it's a little concerning.
Right.
And I feel like Gypsy knew that her mother was going to control that aspect of her life because somebody had to. She was a danger to herself. And that's really, I don't think that she was taking, because yes, if you look at Dee Dee's medical history, she was sick, but she wasn't to the point where she needed somebody to care for her like that.
Oh, see, I didn't know that. I thought she was like really bad sick.
No.
But
No,
you
not-
guys don't think that Rod and Christy are okay? So let's say that Dee was malingering, okay?
Right.
Just milking the situation. But you guys don't think that Rod and Christy aren't doing the same thing in just a different way? They are absolutely using Gypsy for, documentaries. They're just using her in a different type of way.
Absolutely. They're using her. Yeah. Absolutely. In fact, it's almost the same kind of way because they're pushing this narrative that she was abused, knowing that she damn well wasn't. And so, yeah, absolutely. And if you ask me, I personally think that Christy was way more involved than anybody, including Rod, even Rose. Thank you, Christy.
What I find weird too is anytime Christy is mentioned or does anything for Mia, Gypsy has to post like jealousy because she had her mother's undivided attention 24/7. Yeah, so it's her
I
or
think
nobody.
that's another reason why she had a baby so quick, because she would be the first one to give them grandchild. She has to be the first and the best at everything.
I never thought of that. That actually makes sense. I never really thought of that.
Because there's
That's,
competition between her and Mia.
yeah. But I
In
mean,
Gypsy's eyes, anyway.
look at Christy. Look at Christy. You know what I mean? And again, I just made a video on this because even Christy played victim to Dee Dee, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even
Yeah.
she was there like, Dee Dee did this to me. Dee Dee called the priest and
Right.
told the priest not to marry me and Rod because we were still married. Like, that's all just wild. You're making up these lies. I think that there is a heavy jealousy between Christy and Dee Dee. Christy,
Oh, absolutely. Because Dee Dee had his first child. Dee Dee married him first. Dee Dee had a lot of Rod's first. And Christy didn't like it.
Christy didn't like the fact that she was never a choice for Rod.
Right.
I don't believe that she was ever a choice for Rod because, she inserted herself. Christy inserted herself into the relationship of both Dee Dee and Rod. She is part of the reason why Rod left Dee Dee. Okay. Then she got with Jill, got Jill pregnant, got pregnant with another baby, and she inserted herself into that same relationship. She ended up leaving Jill. And I think that the whole time Christy wanted Rod, Christy was obsessed with Rod. Christy
which is dangerous too. She was obsessive over Rod, so she destroyed anybody and everybody that was in her way.
Exactly. And then Rod finally ended up with, after I'd done been with everybody and had all the kids and all the babies and all the things, yeah, all right, Christy, I'll give you a shot. You seem like someone, whatever. You know what I mean?
Right.
You're so upset with me. You're not going to care about my job and whatever. And I think that he finally picked her up. But again,
They were
I think
together a long
he was
time.
never the first or second choice of Rod. And therefore, I really do believe that Christy hates Gypsy. I don't think that Christy does this because she cares about Gypsy. She doesn't care that Gypsy's out here making a total fool out of herself. She's not out here doing all of that. She's doing it because she wants the fame, she wants the money, she wants the clout, Christy. And I really think that Christy hates Gypsy because Gypsy's a product of Rod and Ruby.
Yep, I agree with you 100%.
Because let's be real. If you really love Gypsy, would you allow Gypsy to be out here acting a fool the way she is and you're supporting it? As a real mother, somebody who actually cared about somebody, would you step back and be like, hold on, I think we need to not do these TikToks and let's not do this and let's not talk about this on the show and you know what I mean? Let me not ruin your marriage and insert somebody else into your marriage. You know what I mean? Like the way I did your mother's marriage. Like it's just a whole big, wild, toxic group of people. That little bayou is freaking wild with these people.
No, I agree. I think Rod is in a situation. I think that's why he's gone all the time because he can't handle different personalities of his daughter, plus what Christy puts him through. So his escape is work. He's like, and trust me, I really think that him and Mia have conversations on the side and talk about what's wrong in the family. And I think they distance themselves. Let Christy and Gypsy create this world of chaos on their own. But me and Mia are gonna, and Dylan too, that's his name, right?
Yeah, Dylan.
Yeah, they're stepping away a bit and I'm pretty sure they have private conversations about those two.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure.
Do you think that Ken's mother and family and friends are extremely, like after she posted that ring photo out of the blue,
I
we're
think she
like,
got massive phone calls out of pure panic. Hell
yes,
yeah.
yes.
Yep, I really do believe that. And I believe it was Ken getting the phone calls from everybody and getting all the backlash, thank you, Alicia, that made her redo that post. It wasn't
But
Gypsy.
I also think Raina, she loves her son. I think that Ken has her wrapped around her finger, and even though she may disagree with something, I don't think she has it in her to be like, okay, Ken, enough is enough. I think that she's one of those type of moms that just no matter what your child does, you support it, even though you know it's wrong on so many levels. I don't think she has it in her to be like, Ken, you need to leave her.
I think he's that way with Ken.
I feel like that's not good parenting. Then you really don't care about your kid. I don't parent my children, even the adult ones. I don't give you my opinions and talk to you and have conversations based on whether or not you're going to be mad at me or whether or not, how you're going to look to TV and everything else. Like I'm going to sit and have an actual conversation. If you're mad at me and you dislike it and you don't want to talk to me because of it, I'm not going to be fake. I'm going to parent you forever. That is my job, whether or not you're an adult or not. And I feel like, if that was my child, you look horrible. What you did was wrong. You look horrible. And now you're out here putting on this whole show. You're wrong. I think that you taking another man's wife was wrong. And again, I'm not taking any, accountability away from Gypsy for that or Christy. But,
He's
as
just as accountable too.
My son, I would be so pissed off at you. And, and I would sit there and I would not just for the television and just for, the public, am I going to sit there and support this and support it? No, either I believe what you're doing is right or wrong. And I would personally think that that was all wrong. You would hear it whether or not you're mad at me or not. And if you can't take my constructive criticism, I don't even know what to say because I would only want the best for you. And I'm telling you, what these people are having you do is not the best for you. So is she really a good parent? Does she really care? And are you really parenting if you're doing it because you don't want your kid or the public to get mad at you? No. No.
Oh, I definitely agree. Any parent, and and she comes from divorce herself. Ken and Ken's dad and mom didn't make it, and so we don't know why it ended. But if it ended with cheating or whatever, you would think that Ken's mom would be against cheating. So we don't really know what happened behind closed doors. But then again, it's her son, and her son can do no wrong. And there's a lot of parents out there that they're not my child. My child can do no wrong.
And then you have the whole you know what I mean? The whole baby thing. Oh, I have to be nice to him and I have to agree, or they're not. I want to be able to have a relationship with my granddaughter. The fact that you think that your son or his significant other would stop you from having a relationship with their child because you disagree with something, what is up with this family and the ultimatums? You either agree with me publicly and make me look good, or you're not going to be able to see your granddaughter anymore. Are you freaking kidding me? I have gotten into arguments with my adult children, and they have been pissed at me because I'm like, you know what, about this boyfriend, I'm not so sure. I don't like the way he treats you. I'm going to give my honest opinion. And they stopped talking to me for a little bit, and we went radio silent for a little while. And does that mean that they didn't drop my grandkids off and have my grandkids call me every night? No, children are not pawns. And
right, you leave the kids out of it.
Both sides use this child as a freaking pawn. Raina does it, Christy does it, Gypsy does it, Ken does it, all of them. All of them do it, and it's wild to me. And it shows what kind of people they all really are at the end of the day.
They see it as a possession and not a human. Growing up, my mom and my aunts would fight all the time, like argue. They worked together. So, they would all argue. And one thing my aunt did say, she goes, as much as that we argued with your mom, she never kept you girls from us. We were still able to take you to Mariner games and take you to the park and spend the night and make cookies because they didn't have kids. She never held that against us, your relationship with us, because it's, I don't get along with my mom all the time. Me and my mom have gone at it, but I've always said, when I had my first son, I set boundaries, like, please don't promise him something and not follow through. And don't say you're going to be there and not show up. That's all. But her relationship with my children are their relationship, not mine and hers. Right. So Raina, if she was a caring parent, could say, like, hey, you're with a convicted murderer who, no matter what, unalived her mom, and now you're having a child. I'm not okay with that. This is not how I want your life to go, because now you're on a show and there's public scrutiny. No matter which way you turn, even if you guys are to break up, you're always going to be known as the father to Gypsy Rose's baby and under some sort of scrutiny. If you get a ticket, if you get arrested, life happens, something happens, it's going to be on the news.
Yep. Yeah.
He's already looked at as he's just as bad as her. I mean, it takes some kind of person to even want to be with somebody like Gypsy. Like, you've got to have a little screws loose yourself to think that is completely normal.
Maybe that's why they didn't want to with Ryan, because it takes a certain kind of person to want to be like and act like and accept the nonsense that his family is putting out there, and Ryan was not willing to accept that nonsense. And I think that that's why Christy inserted herself. Ryan wasn't like her.
Ryan doesn't want to be looked at as a victim or, to be controlled. And so that didn't fit their narrative. Like, it wasn't going to work for them.
Yep. And where Ken doesn't mind looking just like them or acting just like them. He has no morals. He has no nothing. And so, yeah, it would be better for Gypsy to be with Ken because, well, we can get away with more. than we could ever get away with Ryan. And I firmly believe that.
Yeah, because I feel like if Gypsy and Ryan were to have a baby, it would be way more like Gypsy, get off the damn show. You know, unfortunately, do your book, do your interviews, but get off the internet, get off your show, because you're harming our child. And I know people dislike Ryan, and I understand and I get it, but you do have to, there is something to say that he is working still. He hasn't slandered her bad. I mean, if it was anybody else, let me tell you, if I cheated on my husband, got knocked up by another man, went on a reality TV show in front of everybody and did that, and then
you proclaim that I cheated.
Oh, he would be on every friggin' interview, writing a book, you know, maybe on Celebrity Big Brother talking about it, like, no joke.
He'd feel like pissed. My husband would slam me every second he could get.
Yeah.
He really would. He would take it so to heart. He would absolutely do that. And I'm not going to lie. I want to sit here and be like, oh, I would be the better person. I would absolutely, no, I would slam the hell out of somebody too. I would drag, listen, if I'm feeling low and you made me feel like that, I'm dragging your ass low with me, and that's it. That's it. Like, I would slam you every chance I got to. I don't care what I look like to the public. Nope.
Oh, I do it to her, and I'm not even, I never want to meet her or see her, and I still call her out, because, like, who does that? And she thinks it's normal. That's the scary thing, is she thinks this behavior is normal adult behavior, and it's absolutely not at all.
No. And everyone's like, well, look, that just goes to show you it's not even teenage behavior. It's psycho behavior.
Yeah.
It's I have no control, self-control.
Right. It's very dangerous behavior, without a doubt.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. She has no coping skills. Obviously, you murdered someone, your mother. So, I mean, I need her to step away, work on your coping skills, work on your self-control before you do or say anything. Because what is today? The 3rd of June. Dude, we got 22 days, and I'm here for her being off parole. I'm not going to lie. I'm sitting here. Got the popcorn ready, got the wine ready. I'm all ready to go and watch her crash out for real.
Well,
You know what's crazy to me is that my brother, he would self-medicate, and so he got into the rugs, and he ended up going to prison for the rugs. But part of his parole when he got out was mandatory. It was mandated that he had to seek therapy and see a psychologist, right? And his was just for rugs, and they say that he was mentally unstable in a way, but you have to be mentally unstable to take someone's life.
Yes.
You are not there, and that's what like, I don't understand is how that wasn't a condition of her parole to continue therapy or see a psychologist. Like, it baffles my mind.
What were you saying, Pam?
I think honestly, I mean, this is just my opinion, but I'm raising a child that has some of these issues, not a microdeletion, but has some mental health issues. It's a child that we adopted. There's a long family history of it. I think honestly that Gypsy has more self-control than we give her credit for.
Really?
I kind of do. I think that she revels in that control of controlling other people, of controlling situations. Look how she acted after the murder. Look how she acted during interrogation. And the only reason I'm saying that, because I can definitely see the part where people would think she doesn't have self-control. My child, who is almost an adult, I would all the time, she doesn't have self-control, it's not her fault, but she can turn that on and turn that off to her discretion. She can plot, she can plan. That stuff takes control.
Yeah.
It's just selective control. And also with the narcissistic tendencies, she doesn't see what she does as wrong. She sees it as, well, I'm right. this is what I want. This is what I need. This is what I'm going to do. There's no care about what others think. I think that's what we think when we think self-control. You want to control yourself around others. She doesn't have any value in other people. There's no value in anyone else but herself. And I really think that, I mean, okay, it's just like this. I know it's raining. My daughter, Mom, it's raining. I know. But like with my daughter, she'll plot and plan and do all of these things. Gypsy plots and plans. She does the same type of things. But she just doesn't see wrong. She doesn't see what she does is wrong.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know. I mean, well, like when Mia posts something, we all said privately, watch, now she's going to show she's engaged. What did she do? After Mia's weekend, what did she do? Exactly. We know what she's going to do. She's already plotted it. We can see the patterns. That's control. She knows what she's doing, in my opinion. I do think there's impulse control issues, obviously, but I think she plots a lot.
I think you're right. I guess it does. To be able to plan a murder for 2 years, I guess that does take self-control.
It
Maybe it's
does.
the control. I see that. I can see that, though.
Yeah, I mean, is she impulsive? Absolutely, absolutely. But I watch my own daughter, and I see the planning and the plotting and the control that it takes to keep that in her pocket before she jumps, before the next attack, before the next explosion. It does take control to do that. Me, when I'm mad, I'm just mad, but she can hold that in until she sees an opportunity for it to do the most damage. When I'm alone, when it's, I just think that, and I might be wrong.
I completely agree with you. Like, I didn't even look at it that way.
Yeah, me
They
too.
have self-control.
And it may just be something I'm wanting to see because I'm living a situation, that I'm in. But
Well, my prayers go out to you because
oh no, it's all fine. It's all fine. I'm fine. My daughter's fine. Everything's good. But it is something that I notice in my own life that I'm seeing in that, and I could be wrong. I know they both have two totally different things. But, my daughter will hold it in until she can get the most bang for her buck. You know what I mean? Until the opportunity is best for her to get what she wants, meaning mainly when I'm alone. She can hold that in all day until I'm by myself. And then, and I see Gypsy doing that. I just see, with her behaviors, the exact precise time she pounces, the exact way she gets to it, the way that she can, manipulate other people into doing it for her while she just sits there and goes, well, what do you mean? I didn't do that. I could never do that.
Yeah.
It's very calculated and intentional. Every move she makes is calculated and intentional. There is no, I'm sorry. Like, I don't know what it's very well thought about and done.
Well, the sorry video to Ryan, that was not a sorry. That was throwing everybody else under the bus.
Yeah.
She did this behavior. It almost was like, I did this behavior because my mom and dad stepmom and dad were about to get divorced, because she wasn't answering the phone, and you're not supposed to now stand up for yourself. It's almost to that point of, how dare you stand up for yourself? I'm the victim. I'm sorry, though. I'm sorry, because that was the only reason she said she was sorry, is because she was getting backlash. And it wasn't even from people who dislike her. It was from celebrities who once stood up for her, like Bunny XO and TMZ and all of that. It was disingenuous. They called it out. That was not an apology. That was, I don't know what that was.
Well, it was a show.
Word salad.
Yep.
Well, and her calling him out, saying, I thought those text messages were sacred. They were between us. They were, well, okay, but didn't she give Bree a bundle of them a while back to put out?
Yeah.
And she did. And then didn't she give Bree a bundle more? But they're sacred when it suits her. with her
Yes.
near. But
Yes.
he can't release them because those are sacred. But the ones
Yep.
she puts out, well, she didn't even put them out.
Those weren't the sacred ones. I mean,
Those
we're
weren't
gonna
the
be
sacred ones. Those
You
were just the
know?
other ones. Yeah, but their personal contact, their private messages, as she said, were sacred. Well, I've seen many private messages that Bree has put out. Where did Bree get them from? From Gypsy. But then Gypsy can say, well, I didn't do that. I just showed her. Or I just, I could never put those out. Of course not, because you don't want to look bad.
Yeah.
You want everyone else to do it bad for you. Do you do the bad for me? That's a pattern. Just saying.
Yeah. Somebody just asked to come up. Guys, if you're new here and you're not following, give a follow and give everyone a follow on the panel. But someone just asked to come up and I don't know who it was.
Hello.
Maybe?
Hi, Deborah.
Hello. So I just want the last person that I think she's a narcissist and possibly, I don't think that she has multiple personalities because she's very aware of when she switches.
Mm-hmm.
Also, people with multiple personalities, they feel guilt.
You there, Deborah? Hello?
Can you hear me?
Oh, we can hear you now. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying, I absolutely think that she's a narcissist. I don't think that she has multiple personalities. It kind of appears the same because of the switches, but absolutely hers is controlled and it's based on manipulation. It's completely different. I mean, she'll even switch mid-conversation and put on the baby voice. That's
Yeah.
intentional. She knows what she's doing. People with, in my opinion, people with multiple personalities, they feel guilt and shame and they have kind of memory gaps because they're not really aware of when they're doing it.
Right.
And versus her, she knows exactly what she's doing. She does it on purpose and it's intentional.
She has an
Also,
individual personality. She chooses these personalities. Right.
absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And there's one common personality through all of it. Even though she switches, I mean, we all know what her main one is. And also like narcissistic people could like discard people really easily, and that's what she does. That's what she did with her mother. That's what she did with Ryan. That's what she'll end up. I mean, that's just how she is. But the other people, they have strained relationships, but and it's hard for them to keep them together because of their different personalities. But they actually feel bad for that. She doesn't feel bad for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was gonna say Ryan was talking on the last live or the last one I seen anyways about everything, the text messages and stuff. But one thing that I thought was pretty interesting, he's like, well, one thing I can't stand about Ken is that he continuously threatens her that he'll take the baby. You know, Gypsy said that, right? So how manipulative is that? He either really said that to Gypsy or Gypsy's saying that to him to make him feel bad for her and to keep him in the loop.
I never thought of that, but that's a good point.
Yeah, it is.
And only Ken will know if that's happened. I mean, I could see it happening because I think that him and his mom do know how crazy she is. They're just kind of, I mean, I think Ken's benefiting financially. I think the mom is scared because she wants to be in her grandchild's life. But I don't know. I can't believe that almost everyone can't see who Gypsy is. It's crazy. Like it just comes out of her. It's just crazy. You could see it. It's nuts.
So, you know what though? That's wow. So you gotta wonder, did Ken really give ultimatums, or is that just something that Gypsy came up with and told Ryan?
Okay,
Can we say it on the show?
let's say that he didn't, and now that's out and all over the internet.
Mm-hmm.
At that point, wouldn't that be a breaking point for someone to be like, look,
For Ken?
you're saying things that aren't true. I'm out of here because
No.
God only knows what you're going to accuse me of next.
Not
Wouldn't
at all.
that be a
I think she's such a great manipulator that she would just use that as another tactic to be like, look, he's lying. It's not true. We're not texting. I
Right.
never said that.
But I thought she said it on the show.
She did
He did say that.
on the show. He
Yeah,
did.
so
But again, what does Ken know what happens with that show until he sees it with us live?
that's true.
You know what I mean? And then and again, thank you, Court, for the follow. I appreciate it. And then you really got to wonder, that just goes back to there's no way that their relationship is solid. There's no freaking way. If she did pull that, if she didn't pull that, and he's really giving ultimatums, either way, that relationship is down the drain. That there can't be a relationship there. Either way you look at that.
Absolutely, it's not healthy. Anybody would say, okay, if there's ultimatums and stuff like that going on, that's not a healthy relationship, and you need to end it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's wild. Guys, I think I'm almost at 100. My goal for the Heart News is 100. So if you can't, don't. But if you can, I appreciate it. I'm at 56. And also, guys, if you're new here, don't forget to follow me and don't forget to follow the people on the panel. So
The last thing I wanted to say, it's been a while since I read the DMS-4, which is like the diagnostic criteria for different personality disorders. And from what I remember, multiple personalities is usually centered from super deep trauma, like, sexual abuse, where people have to disassociate and kind of take on these other personalities to kind of forget things. However, narcissist, it can be neglect. They get or overpraise that creates this narcissistic behavior. And she was overpraised as a child. Everybody loved her, and I think that's why hers is so deep, is because, and then that's, I don't know, I could just see it all over her. She is a narcissistic to the core.
she is absolutely. You're absolutely right.
I agree.
Yeah, man. I don't know.
There is no denying that she's not a narcissist. She carries she carries all of it as a narcissist. And I do believe that there is a borderline personality disorder only because of her accent changes. She just changes to different characters. Now, as a narcissist, my mother is a horrible one. My mother never displayed those kind of behaviors. Now, my brother, having personality disorder, never displayed narcissistic either. So, but I could be wrong. I'm not a professional. I can't say, I'm not a doctor or anything, but I do feel that there is some type of, or our Gypsy knows about personality disorders, and she purposely turns into different people.
She loves the computer.
She turns into people because she doesn't have an identity. There is no self-identity there. She doesn't know who the hell she is. You know what I mean? Like, does she really know who she is?
I don't
think so. She's been Mona, she's been Ruby, she's been all these different characters with Nick. She obviously loves to crossplay. She loves being different characters too, so it is I've never seen multiple personality disorder in her type of way, because my brother only had one, I only had to deal with one. So seeing all these different characters is new to me. And like I said, I could be completely wrong on that, but at the same time, it is a possibility.
Yeah. And I know, so someone just said narcissists mirror people. I absolutely believe she mirrors people. Because whenever you see her around other people, because we know with her videos, she does. She mirrors them. She mimics them. And she becomes these people.
She's like a chameleon.
Yep.
Yeah. A chameleon. So she displays the same behavior. And that's what narcissists do, without a doubt. They mirror you. Like, I dated this guy, and I told him my story, like, with my brother. And then he said his brother passed away in a car accident, blah, blah, only for me to later on find out it wasn't his brother. It was just a friend. He tried to say that he had the same traumas or whatever as me, only for me to find out no.
Yeah. I don't know.
I feel oh, sorry. I was just going to say, I feel like she takes on these different personalities until she gets what she wants from the person. Then she drops them. She, like Mia. She tries to dress like Mia, tries to do her hair like Mia. Yes, Ken likes blondes, but I feel like it's more of a competition. So until she can take that down, Mia, I'm not saying, but she's going to continue having that Mia personality, the southern twang. I live in the South, and there are times where I will say something and my husband's like, oh my goodness, you just said like in a twang because everybody around me is talking like that. But
Right.
I
You
do
pick
not
up, you pick it
change.
up. You know,
Yeah,
it's
I
not
have not
intentional.
changed
Yeah.
my dialect of
Yeah.
how I talk.
And here's the thing with
grew up.
narcissists too. They will suck any positive energy out of you. They will literally suck you dry until you cave or you break. That's when they basically they get off, they get a rush, they get a high when they break somebody down. It's known that's what, like, they love drama, they love chaos. They don't want to see others happy, without them or them being the reason that person's happy, because it's always has to always be about them,
Yeah. Yeah, I completely agree. Either way you look at it, I just feel like that's a dangerous situation. That's a dangerous, you know what
Just
I mean?
imagine what she's gonna do with the baby. Like, that baby is gonna walk around on eggshells like I did with my mom, not knowing what's gonna set her off or what mood she's gonna be in, because her mood affects my mood. If she's in a bad mood, before I answer the phone, I'm like, oh God. Like, I was terrified to answer the phone to my mom. So
Yeah.
that scares me for Aurora, because growing up that way, always being afraid of what mood or your mom is in and how it's going to affect you, causes a lot of childhood trauma.
I feel like every choice that Gypsy has made in her life is going to create trauma for her child. Like, she didn't think about that before she wanted to go. She didn't even give time for her life to settle down and learn to be not messy and learn not to collect victims and do all of the things before she decided that she was going to bring another person into this life. Now, let's be real. I don't care what man she had the baby with. She was having a baby any which way she could. Having a baby was definitely on her list of things I need to do. Okay,
Yeah.
first when she got out was she picked up onesies at Walmart. You know what I mean? Like, so that was on her mind constantly. She wasn't caring about the child.
No.
The child wasn't a thought. What the child was going to go through because of her doing and because of her choices. None of that. Not the father, not Ken. What Ken would give. You know what I mean? How are people going to think? What are people going to think about Ken if I get pregnant by Ken? And you know what I mean? What about Ryan? And what about this person? What about my parents? Like, she doesn't care about what anybody thinks about anybody. It's all about herself. And that poor child. And I know people get so mad at me for saying this, and I very rarely talk about that child. I don't talk about its looks. I don't talk about. However, that child is going to walk around for the rest of its life with the weight of its mother's choices on her shoulders. Think about that. Every choice that Gypsy Rose makes, will make, or has made will walk around and be a weight on the shoulders of Aurora forever. And that's what Gypsy Rose, that selfish SOB, doesn't understand.
Oh, I agree with you 100%. That little girl's life is going to be in constant turmoil, because that's what Gypsy brings, is chaos, turmoil, drama, and that's all that little girl's going to know. And she was doomed the minute she was conceived, unfortunately.
Well, let's be honest.
Something is done.
She likes to cosplay, and at that time I think she felt like having a baby was going to be like playing dolls. You dress it up, you take it out, you get the attention, you're the mom, you get the attention, and that's not the reality at all of having a child, period.
Well, narcissists get very bored quite often. If they get bored of certain situations, and they move on. They move on to the next that they know it's going to cause, chaos. So in Gypsy's mind, at the time, the baby was perfect. The attention's on her, the baby, the first grandbaby, all this stuff. Well, once it happened and the excitement and, the newness wore off, she got bored of it, and she has to create this drama with Ryan. And now she's peeking Ken out to be like, oh, I have to leave reminders for him on the walls. Like, he gave me she's already trying to paint, Ken, the bad guy. Like she's setting Ken up the same way she did Ryan.
Yeah. Yeah. Care Bear 1980 just asked, do I think that she will have more kids? Yes. I think that if she is or does get pregnant again, she will do it to further try and push and keep Ken around, thinking that more kids equals really can't do it this time. However, look at her own father. That didn't work.
See, I think the
I think that she
opposite.
would
I
have more
think
kids.
if, sorry, go ahead. I think if her and Ken split up, she will get pregnant again to trap that person. That they'll always have to be connected. Like that person will never be able to fully walk away. That's what Gypsy likes. She likes that she is going to have some type of connection because she still has this weird thing with Dan. Obviously with Nick, like it's whoever's been in her circle, there has to be a connection forever. And that's what I think. I mean, I think it's a possibility because she knows she's got Ryan right now. And if
Yeah.
her and Ken were to split up, she could go back to Ryan. Whoever she ends up with, she's going to need to have something to control over them for the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
What were you saying, Pam?
I'm sorry. I was just saying that I feel like the baby. Well, I don't feel like, I know the baby was born with a job. Period. The baby, and and I've heard it quoted before. Don't ever give a child a job. But that baby was born with a job, born to make her look a certain way, born to serve her a purpose, born to give her more attention, to get her more attention. And that baby's always going to have that job her entire life. It's going to be a reflection of Gypsy. And that's sad. That's really sad.
I
I
absolutely
agree. It's going to be her job to make Gypsy look good at all times, to look like she's the best mom. And when Aurora doesn't do that, then all hell's going to break loose on that poor little girl.
Well, if just God help us if, Gypsy wants to look like a martyr, if Gypsy wants to look like a very caring mother, what is Aurora going to need that she's going to make happen? You know what I mean? I think about that a lot.
100%. I definitely understand what you're saying.
I mean, the narrative that she pushes about her own life, is that going to perpetuate onto her child?
Right.
She doesn't get enough attention as a mom, because as a mom, you don't get any attention. It's all about your child. I haven't had any attention for 33 years. I mean, I've just been a mom. I've been Katie's mom or Riley's mom or Rain Deshae's mom. I'm just someone's mom. I'm never Pamela. And once Gypsy realizes that, I think she has, I think it's been a very harsh reality for her, she's going to have to get more attention. How does she get attention? Look what she perpetuated about her own mother. That was her mom's story of getting attention. I think she's going to learn from that. I think she has learned from that how to get the attention back on herself. Her mother was good at that.
Right.
Now, I don't think she made her sick, obviously, but she did malinger it, let's be honest.
Yeah.
She put a lot of attention, but she put a lot of attention on Gypsy, to be honest. She really did. But I don't see Gypsy doing that for her child. I see it all being about Gypsy. Gypsy has far surpassed her mother's capabilities of malingering.
Yes.
Yeah.
It
really is going to be about her, and everything everyone does is going to be about her. And I really think she's feeling some type of way that that baby gets any attention.
I agree.
Yeah, poor Aurora is just an extension to Gypsy.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't even think she's an extension. I think she's an accessory.
Yeah, true.
That's a good word. That is a good
Maybe.
word.
Yeah.
I like that.
An accessory, yeah.
Well, it's like, when rich people get those tiny little dogs and carry them around in a purse. That's an accessory.
Yeah, true, because think about it. Gypsy was an accessory to Dee Dee's malingering. Without Gypsy playing along, it wouldn't have happened.
Yeah. That poor baby. I mean, my heart really goes out to her. Like, I don't think Gypsy just doesn't understand. You made your daughter a victim. You know what I mean? Because of what you did and your choices. You know what I mean? Thank you so much. But you made your daughter a victim. Another victim of Gypsy Rose is Aurora, let's be real.
And
Not
what's
even like of physical abuse or anything like that, just the fact that you are who you are.
you know, I
Ladies
look at
involved.
it. I look at her too, and she posts that video of Ken driving down the road. Let's be honest, if you live in the country, you drive fast, and it's not fully strapped into a car seat.
That
Scary.
honestly, how do you not strap your child in a car seat? Like of all the things, how is that? How do you not care enough? Man, I was that mom that sat there and shook the hell out of the thing to make sure it couldn't move. You know what I mean? Like I was the one that, made sure it was up here on the chest and, doing all the things and had my husband you check just to make sure. Like, how do you just act like that isn't the most precious thing in your world and protect it at all costs? Oh, because Gypsy is Gypsy's, you know what I mean, most precious thing, not her daughter.
Right, it's precious cargo. Like you obsess over the fact that because everybody knows accidents can happen, but when you become a mother, you overthink anything and everything that could possibly happen. You envision it so you prevent of it ever happening.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Sam, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but the car seat thing went on a little rant there.
I think too, and I'm not saying you can't take your kids out to go do stuff, your babies that are 4 or 5 months old. I've done it, but her even taking the baby to that game, play the zoo thingy, and her having nothing covering her legs or a hat on. Babies get sunburnt, and it's horrible when they do. It's painful, and yes, it's hot, but it doesn't, put some long pants on that baby and a hat, a sun hat.
That's what I would have done. I would have.
Well, that's what most of us do. I mean, my daughter, even as a new mother, when she was, 20, 23, new mom, baby, we live at the lake practically. We're there all the time. First time she came up, she had that baby wearing sunscreen in the vehicle on the way so it could settle in, she called it. It needs to settle in. And she applied sunscreen. And Charlie was at that point 7 months old on his first camping trip because he was born, in the late fall. And so, yeah, he just.
And you kick it on so much that their skin literally turns white.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then you got to remember, someone was like, well, she didn't need pants because she had on sunscreen. First of all, if you're not reapplying the sunscreen constantly, that baby's legs look extremely red. Now, is that just because maybe the baby, babies have a tendency to turn a little bit red, get a little bit mottled? That's not abnormal. However, the fact that the legs were red and the rest of the body was white made me think sunburn. And if that baby had sunscreen on adequately, the baby's legs would not be red.
Right.
Take it to somebody.
She says she Googles everything, but she failed to Google how to fasten the child in a car seat. She failed to Google, sunscreen for a child. She swears she Googles everything about SIDS or this or that, but you can't Google the common sense ones.
Take it from somebody who has been severely sunburnt and still have scars from a child. My mom, after that happened, I was covered. I used to get so annoyed because I had to wear a t-shirt over my swimsuit when we go swimming, camping. I had to wear a hat because my scalp, it's no joke. And so I couldn't imagine a little baby.
So I'm going to answer this question. Keep Scrolling just said, is everyone here a perfect mom? No. However, I'm also not a mommy vlogger. I don't put my kids out there and try and teach people how to be a perfect mom while actively doing things that are absolutely not perfect. You're sitting there trying to make a mommy vlogging channel. I'm going to vlog about my family. I'm going to tell you all about motherhood, and I'm going to teach you things, and you know what I mean? I'm going to put all this information out there. However, I'm going to make sure that when I'm in a safari, which, let's be real, is safari actually a really good place to bring an infant? No, not at all. Why? You got all of the diseases. You got, you know what I mean? Like, look, you're talking about animal spit. You're talking about animal feces. You're talking about all of the things in the air. You're talking about, that's not a place that you should be taking an infant, or that I would ever take an infant. But, you know, let's just say they went there anyway. Okay? The kid's legs were obviously red. The rest of the body were white. That means you didn't have sunscreen on your kid. So again, don't sit there and put your family in your little family vlogging channel out there trying to teach people what they should be doing. And let me tell you about this, you know, car seat. Let me tell you, don't teach us about car seats and try and show off car seats when you don't know how to use it. And then you're sitting there putting this information out there, but you have a kid half-ass buckled. Don't sit there and tell parents what they should be doing while you're doing the exact opposite. So no, I'm not a perfect mom, but I don't put my imperfections on display for people to copy. I'm just saying there's that.
And I don't put my kid in danger, and I make sure that their car seat, they're strapped in and have the correct car seat for their size and age, whether it's a car seat or a booster seat. You know, nobody's perfect.
Any mommy vlogger, if it could have been, you know, the girl next down the street. If we've seen something like that, we're going to call it out too. It's not just because she's Gypsy Rose.
Absolutely. Thank you. Absolutely. You know, thank you, Becky. I appreciate it, guys. I'm almost at 100, guys. We can get there. There's almost 400 people in here. Sorry, guys. I'm just trying to get to that goal. But yeah, no one's sitting here acting like she should be a perfect parent. But when you put it on display for everybody and try and act, and you're like you're going to sit there and teach somebody something, then make sure if you're teaching someone or putting it on display for followers to follow you and to watch you and recreate what you're doing, you make sure you're doing it correctly. That is your responsibility as a content creator. I'm just saying.
Well, and the fact that her target audience is younger people, I mean, you know, hence the Omi TV. Her target audience is younger people. They're coming in with inexperience. At least show them the right way. Don't give them your knowledge of how to do everything wrong. I mean,
you know what? And we can all say this. We all make mistakes as humans. Everybody makes a mistake and they're not perfect. But guess what? None of us took our mother's life and sit on social media and profit off of it and on a TV show with no remorse. So if she's going to put her kid out there and do these certain things, like not strap her child into a car seat correctly, or not make sure that because she's fair skinned, that she's not covered or has sunblock on, or even takes her out like that, we're going to look at it as a microscope, because she should not be profiting off of her crime. She actually should still be in prison.
Yeah.
When you put your life out there for millions to see, you cannot expect not to get backlash from different people. Like comes with the character that you're trying to play. Like
it comes with the whole mommy vlogging thing gets me, because you've been trying to put your parenting on blast and on show for everybody since that baby was born, right? And then you're gonna sit there and you gotta understand, look at how hard the internet comes at mommy vloggers. Okay? They're under heat, they're under scrutiny right now because of the Ruby Frankies that are out there and all of the people out there harming their children just for content and views and clicks. Look at the Resilient Jenkins, look at all of them. Look at the Darty Dozen. All of these people are out there putting their families and their lives on show as content, which is exactly what Gypsy Rose is trying to do, right? And then you have to understand you're going to be scrutinized, you're going to be watched. You just joined a niche that is under serious scrutiny, and then you're going to sit there and act a whole fool and have no disregard for the child that you're trying to put on show, that you're trying to monetize off of. I just don't understand where her mind is, her brain.
Well, let's be honest. I'm sorry, Sam. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, you go ahead.
I'm going to be honest here. I think she does it for the scrutiny, for the attention. I don't think she cares whether it's good or bad attention that comes her way, as long as she's being talked about. I think that she would sacrifice anything around her to get attention, whether it be good or bad.
No, I agree with you 100%. I don't think she cares if it's positive or negative, as long as she's being talked about.
Oh, exactly. Exactly. I think she likes to cause chaos and controversy. I think it gives her a high.
Rides off of it. Like I literally think she gets off on it. I think it excites her. Absolutely.
Oh, it definitely does.
Definitely does. It definitely does. I mean, come on, let's think about this here. The more people that talk about her, the more people that trade stories back and forth. Some are going to believe it, some are not going to believe it, and it's like, yeah, whatever. She's infatuated with all the attention she's getting.
Yeah.
I
She
mean,
has no shame in any of the stories she tells. She has no care about if people are viewing her negatively. It's really all about just being in front of an audience and people looking at her. She doesn't care whether it's positive, negative, or, indifferent. She doesn't care.
well, look at Paris Hilton. She got scrutinized for not strapping her child in correctly. And she turns around and said, I am sorry. And she learned how to strap her kid in correctly to a car seat. You got to give it to her. People make mistakes. I get that. But for her not to be like, you know what, you guys, you're right. Let me show you if she wants to be a mommy vlogger, let me show you an actual video of the proper way to strap a child into a car seat and anchor that seat into the car.
Right. At least Paris acknowledged it and was like, oh, okay, thanks for letting me know.
What you just said, though, Sam, because you know what that just made me realize? Do you know how much attention Paris Hilton got because of that whole thing?
Yeah.
And any attention is good attention, right? Look at how much publicity and attention Paris Hilton got because of that I didn't buckle my kid in the car seat thing correctly. Now that makes me wonder if Gypsy Rose did not do it on purpose to get that same attention, because again, it doesn't matter if it's good or bad. I wonder if she didn't do that on purpose just for the attention playing off the Paris Hilton thing.
Nailed it.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I mean, think about it. Christy wanted to get Tori Spelling's attention for the ice bucket challenge. I think that that's a good way to look at it.
Now you got to sit there and look at all these the real famous people out there and what they're under scrutiny for, what they're getting attention for. And I'm sure that you can link everything that they've done right back to Gypsy Rose doing the same version of it. Let me tell you something. How many of us are out here waiting for the Gypsy Rose version of Kim Kardashian's sex tape? Let's be for real. Am I the only one?
Oh, I'm waiting for it. Absolutely. I'm waiting for it, girl.
Please no.
For that to drop. That's going to be the last bit of desperation. It'll happen. It's coming. And, the attention's dying now. You know what I mean? Let's be real. Ken's already got one tape out there, right?
Yeah, the more that she's talked about, what's going to end up happening is people, especially big people, news stations or whatever else, is going to want to interview her. And then it gets her face on live TV. More people will see her. Then more people can judge whether she's good or bad, whether she did something that was intentional or not. It makes her money. It has to.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And what scares me, I'm going to just circle back really quick, is what if Aurora has autism or something? What if she has something medically wrong and the attention really has to be on Aurora? That poor child, and I'm not saying she does have autism. I have a son with autism, and let me tell you, the breakdowns that I have daily, because it's hard.
Yeah.
Is she going to be able to give that attention?
No, I don't think she can.
She'll give the baby the pen and walk away.
Yeah, I don't think she would be able to care for a child under those circumstances. I don't think she can care for a child, period, point blank. However, a child that needs a lot of attention and focus and, a lot of care, no, I don't think she's capable of doing that with anybody.
Especially with a lot of direction, and stuff. I don't see Gypsy being a parent that gives guidance and direction. I think she's just the type of parent that's going to wing it. She's not going to actually sit down with her child and teach her things. I mean, I just look at it that way. So if anything medically comes up with Aurora, she's going to look at it as a chore or something like that, and she's not going to be able to do it.
Yeah. Guys, Steffi Only Fishes just asked if she can join real quick. Steffi, I will let you up. I don't normally have such a large panel and full of boxes, so I'm just going to ask that we all just be respectful of each other when they're speaking, because then it can get a little hectic. But Steph, if you request, I will absolutely allow you to come up. I just don't have a request from you.
I can jump down, Ivory. I don't mind.
You sure? You can come up. Thank you so much,
absolutely.
Karen.
Let me jump. Yeah, no worries. It was good talking to you guys.
You too.
Good talking to you.
It was nice talking to you.
See ya.
Everybody make sure to give Carrie Lou a follow. She had some really great insights to everything. Sophie, did you want to come up? There we go. Hey,
Hi, Ivory. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Sorry, I don't normally join during the lives, and I am so sorry, guys, that the ones that dropped down, I'm so sorry.
Don't be
Don't be
sorry.
sorry.
I just
Come back
wanted to
up.
say, okay, I just wanted to say quickly that I just think, certainly in Canadian laws here, I think Ken will marry Gypsy so he can get half of her earnings. And I think that he's going to run for safety after that with the child,
Yeah,
is my opinion.
I agree. I just don't know what the law in her state is for how long you have to be married. Usually it's 10 years of marriage in order for you to have half of everything she's accumulated or had during that. Because if they
Okay.
were to get married and get divorced in a year, then he's only allowed to have whatever they accumulated during that marriage together and not necessarily anything
Okay.
before.
See, I don't believe that though. I believe kind of the
Okay, because
opposite. I believe that
okay, I
comes
will
around
look
for the
into it.
clout of her. Like, look at Ryan. Ryan was around Gypsy Rose for a period of time. Now look at where he is now. Okay, he's got all the popularity, he's got all the views and everything else. I think Ken's going to head in the same direction. Honestly, he's going to stick around long enough to get enough popularity, and when the S hits the fan, eventually he's going to be the same person sitting on his own social media, meeting all these new people. Guess what? Gypsy's got nothing.
Do
That's
you
what I
think he
believe.
can take that baby with him and use that baby for clout?
Well, obviously, I mean, it's more or less who's more in support of who. I mean, will he win the baby? Probably not, because you got Krusty and what was it, Rod? Friggin', there's going to be some support structure where he might not even win the case if he could take the kid. He'd have to show more independence than them, so that's a whole different ball of wax.
Yeah, I never thought of that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I would think
So here in Canada, you don't have to be married here in Canada to go after 50-50 after your partner.
Oh, really?
Certainly after you have a child. No, you do not. So if you have a child together, you're still considered common law / married. You can go after that person for spousal support and anything like that.
Oh, wow.
And that's why I was saying common law. See, somebody saying common law.
See,
A lot of here in Canada, you can go after somebody if you're not married and you still have a child.
I
You can go
thought
after the house, you can go after the money, the income, everything.
I thought common law though, you have to be together for at least 8 years or something like that to be considered. But I'm
think
not
it
sure.
differs by state because I think, Archie, where we're from, we have common law, don't we?
Yeah, we do. That's
Yeah.
10 years, though. It's not 8.
Yeah, in that state, it's 10 years. Someone just said that in Louisiana, there's common law. But again, common law doesn't always mean the same thing in every state. Sometimes it means, I don't know that you can get spousal support for under any of the common laws in any of the states. However, without being together so long, like the 10 years, same as a divorce.
What
So here in Canada, it's 1 year.
Oh, wow.
wow.
Somebody just wrote in the chat. Canada is 6 to 9 months. If you're living with that person for 6 to 9 months, you're common law. So legally, you're allowed to split every asset
Wow.
if you're living together for that amount of time. But
Could you imagine? She'd have nothing
Yeah.
left. She would have gotten everything.
Or do you think he's going to pull a Kevin Federline like Britney Spears and then go, you know what, I'm going to take Aurora because you are a convicted unaliver and they will grant me, they will grant me that and you have to pay me child support.
I'm
I mean,
not
that
gonna
could happen
lie.
too. I mean, that's possible. I mean, as long as he's got the money, to go against her in court and prove that she is not fit based on her background, and hopefully the other side ain't gonna like pull their own stuff like Christine Rod. I mean, I just think it's gonna be a forever fight if he does do it. It's not saying he can't do it, but like he's gonna have to have sufficient proof to prove otherwise. You know what I'm saying? Three against one doesn't always work.
But
I
wouldn't that?
feel, yeah, I feel like they're, I mean, everybody says, between all them and their money and stuff, I don't think the money's there anymore. I really don't. And I don't think Christy's going to want to give up her chunk of the funds to fight for Gypsy. I don't see that happening. I mean, maybe if, someone's watching, but, I mean, honestly, behind the scenes, I don't think that money's there anymore. And to be honest, if he wants to take the bait, I mean, he's threatened it. He's had it in his back pocket. I would have. I think he's got a good shot.
I think at this point, anything that she's doing wrong is posted. Anything that is negative, that is about the baby, not negative, but you know what I mean? Like, the sleepless nights, the car seat situation, anything that will get backlash on those pictures and the post, I think is what is going to keep up the money, because it gets people talking about it and posting and.
So I see people go. I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. I see people going at keep scrolling in the chat. Keep scrolling. Come on up.
Yeah,
I mean,
somebody said before
keep
that we were
scrolling's got a
speaking
point.
misinformation. So
And I don't mind you coming up here to make a point.
I'll mute.
But yeah, come on up. I mean, if you got something to say, say it.
Yeah, we just ask you to be respectful to the host.
Yeah, if you don't agree with what we're saying, then come on up and tell us your opinion or your perspective on the entire situation.
I mean, you have to understand we're all just playing on speculation. We're not saying it's true or false. We're just guesstimating what we've known over the years up till now.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and I think Lydia in the chat has a point. I think Ken is actually working on doing this smart move to get away from Gypsy in the safest way he can with the child. I know for a fact I left an abusive relationship with 2 children, and I had to really plan it out to the point where he did not know about it, to be in a safe place for me and my children. And I think that's what Ken is doing, to be honest. Put a ring on her, get married, and go for her stuff. Why not?
There's that, though. Yeah, I can see that happening. Thank you.
So I guess Gypsy commented apologizing to Salon Centric, saying she didn't know she was supposed to have a license to purchase products. And Salon
Well, then,
Centric,
how did she buy the products?
yeah, that's what I'm saying. She purchased them.
It's
And
the
Salon
lie.
Centric deleted their comment on my video, but I have the screenshot, so I'll post that.
So you mean to tell me she's saying she didn't know she needed a license, but in order for her to go into that store, she had to use somebody else's license?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well,
It's like going to Costco without your card.
isn't that in good old-fashioned Gypsy Rose? Come on.
Yeah, and never go to Costco without the card, because then you got to get in that embarrassing line of shame because you forgot your card, and you always look your worst when you forget your card. Then you have to get a new picture on your card where you look like crap. It's terrible. Don't ever forget your card at Costco.
Pictures are horrible.
That's just
Well,
wrong.
exactly. I mean, whatever works. But I think she got away with it from that employer that works there and said, "Oh my goodness, it's Gypsy Rose," and let her in.
That's quite possible too.
No,
Could be.
I don't know.
She
That's
just wanted to feel special that she let Gypsy Rose in, which could cost her job and whatever else.
her
It's on
license.
them.
Yeah, that's absolutely wild. Guys, if you're new here and you're watching, please don't forget to give a follow. Also, give a follow to everybody on the panel because we respect all of their insight and their great conversation. So please don't forget to give them a follow too. Also, guys, I got 18 heart me's left, now 17. Thank you, Emily, Mary. I appreciate it. Guys, we can get 17. There's 412 people in here. I only need 17 more. My goal is only 100, so guys, I appreciate it. Thank you, Crystal. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, guys. I'm into this whole.
Okay, I'm sending
Just
you
for
my
everybody in the
heartbeat.
chat, just for everybody in the chat, I don't have the Costco app on my phone because I'm an old person and I just carry my card in my wallet. So I'm going to tell you right now, the fact that you guys are telling me just use your phone, I did not know what that meant. I just Googled it. Thank you so much. I am going to do that from now on. I wasn't not doing it because I'm stupid. I'm an old person and I don't have all those extra apps. I just don't.
You're as old as you feel. You're not old. Come on now.
No, like technologically, I am a dinosaur, and that's okay. I accept it. If you see my videos, you can tell. I just finally learned how to make my video pictures into like they just stream together instead of you have to swipe. I Googled it yesterday.
Yeah, I'm still trying to get the 12 o'clock off the VCR.
I'm not even joking. Well, yeah,
I'm not
I have two stoves. Both my stoves are an hour ahead because when the time switch and I don't know how to change them because, we have the 2 ovens because I have like an ungodly amount of children. So yeah, they're still flashing an hour ahead or behind or whatever it is, an hour behind. Yeah, I swear.
My car is only right. The clock in my car is only right 6 months a year. Let me just tell you.
Yeah.
I'm always like,
and everybody's like, oh, put Spotify on your phone. Oh, here, do this for the podcast. I'm like, huh? I stress like to where I almost get like the runs because I stress out.
You had to see Pam trying to get in on Zoom. We were going to record it on Zoom, and yeah, we couldn't get her there. We couldn't get her onto Zoom. It was funny, and again, I'm not making fun of you because I am the same way.
No, I know. I was there.
You have all seen me getting stuck in all these. Thank you, Nicole. You guys all seen me getting stuck in these virtual realms where I can't get out, and I'm like.
The mask.
Like,
the mask, yeah. Well, I'm just a grass under my feet person, like in general. So, I don't wear shoes. I'm like, oh, look at the pretty trees. I'm floating in the water. That's where my wheelhouse is. This is not my wheelhouse. It's just not. I figure it out as I go. Thank God for Canceled and Pink and you and everybody that's like, no, try this. Okay, push the button, Pam. Push the button. Thank God for screen share because I can actively do it as you're looking at my phone.
Man, are you kidding me? I just learned how to use the green screen, and I feel all kinds of like proud and all of it because I'm like, I can use a green screen. Meanwhile, how long have people been using green screens? And here I am like showing off my skills and people. And listen, I give y'all so much credit because y'all are in the comments going, great job, you using the green screen. Not even commenting on the video. It's like, look at you go, Ivory, you use the green screen.
Our podcast when we started, remember the countdown? And I'm like, no, they can't hear us. And we're like, oh, okay, good. And then it uploaded with us talking during the countdown. Like, I don't know what
I'm doing. Gotta mute the countdown.
Remember the 5 Samanthas?
Oh yeah. We were using StreamYard and all of us had Sam's logo. So we're all just like, wait, how do I not be Samantha? It was funny. I had to show my face on camera because I didn't know how to change it. Otherwise, there would be more than one Samantha. It was so funny.
All right, guys, I'm gonna hop off, but I did follow everybody on the panel, and Ivory, I just love your content. Keep it up, girl. You're doing good, and don't say dinosaur, blah blah blah. You're doing awesome. Okay.
Thank you. I give you a follow.
Thanks for hanging out with us.
I followed you back too.
Yeah, same.
Love you guys. All right, enjoy your day.
Thank you.
Too.
Later.
She was so sweet.
She is. She was really
Definitely
sweet.
was.
2 heart me's away for Ivory's goal.
How many? 2?
Oh,
2.
shut your whole face. Someone tap those things.
2. Who's going to be
Only 1 cent
to
each.
get my goal? Who are the 2 people?
This is IRK we're talking about. 2 points, man. 2 points. There's one.
Christian, thank you. Thank you. Jackie,
There it is.
thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Days. Thank you, guys.
I want that cheer alarm thingy. I want that cheer thing where I can just like tap my phone and it just cheers for me. I also want a theme song, just so you know.
Wait, what cheers for you?
You know, like when you hit the goal and it made that cheer sound. I wish I could have that on my phone somewhere to where like whenever I did something great and I'm by myself, I could just tap that button and it would be like, rah, good job.
I need the drum because I'm always like drumming on my desk whenever I make a phone, which is a lot. And
I
my
would
hands
also like a
realize
theme song.
I'm hilarious. But I do. I need like a drum or something.
Yeah, we all
Like a,
need theme songs when we enter a room. Like a theme song just plays when I open the front door, like after I pick up my kid from work and my husband's sitting here on the couch. Like a theme song needs to play when I walk in, like, you know what I mean? Like something.
there's a
Something.
way to
Like
do it.
commercial where you
There's a
can.
way to do it. If you go to
Oh,
Staples, they sell. I'm sorry.
no, go
At
ahead.
Staples, they sell that button where you press it and it says some line of crap. There's a recording option on the back. You can have it play whatever you want. Just put it on your wall, and as soon as you come in, hit that button.
Yeah, that's what people at my old job would do. I worked in sales in a big company, and they had that at their desk. And whenever they got like a sell, they would push it, and it like clap for them.
Yeah, I need
Ooh,
that.
I'm
I
going on
need a drum.
Amazon. I'm getting that. I have one that makes fart noises because I have sons. You know, they love that. But yeah, I have one that makes a big fart noise when you clap
Mercy,
it.
John Travolta entry, Ivory.
There you go. No, you need. Yeah, we know you need the Sopranos one, right?
Oh, I sure do. The Godfather theme rolling out, like Scarface.
Yeah.
Woke up this morning.
That should be your intro to your
There you
video.
go,
The
Archie.
smoke machine and
Ooh, a
I'm
smoke
kidding.
machine. I have one.
Send
You know
it to
this.
Ivory.
I'm good.
Let me
I
make
have
you
one for my
laugh with
photography.
the
Baby, my mom.
Cheers theme. I like the Cheers theme, yes.
I'm Mexican, so I
Oh,
would want a
cheers,
Selena
dude.
song.
There
You
you
want
go.
Selena.
That's so
I
funny.
think mine would be "Don't Ya" by the Pussycat Dolls. That would make my husband so happy. That's the wife he wanted. Like every time I walk in the door with my mom bun and my oversized t-shirts, he would be so pleased.
Oh my gosh. Amazon has a 4-pack of the buttons. I gotta go
Shut your
check.
face, crochet mama.
Yeah, they're selling them because apparently on somewhere on TikTok there's a dog that they taught to actually run the buttons, and they taught him what to hit to let you know when he wants to go out and when he wants to eat. That's really the cool thing.
Oh wow.
Teach my dog to hit a button.
Yeah,
Yes.
there's somebody on TikTok that has a dog, and they bought like 8 of these buttons, and each one has a sound that says, "I want to go out, I want to eat, I want to play." And what ends up happening is they end up learning and pressing the button to let their owners know what they really want to do. It's the coolest thing. I wish I knew the name of them. You got to search it up on TikTok.
Oh wow.
Oh man, I would love to
Wait,
teach my dog
you
that.
have an automatic tapper? You're not even putting in the elbow grease? That's so funny.
There's an app on the phone you can use for that.
Yeah, yeah. Yes, Sam told me about the app. I can't get it to work, obviously.
Listen, I'm gonna need everybody in here to download that app and tap away. Here I am giving you all arthritis, and there's a whole app.
If you want an easier way to do it, if anyone's running on desktop and they're not on their phone, there's actually a app through Microsoft Windows 10 that it'll actually automatically tap for you too, and at high speed too.
That's a thing.
Yes.
Yeah, it's an automatic mouse clicker.
Yeah, Sam has a tapper, and she's like, Pam, it's an app. Just get it. Okay, so I downloaded like 5 different ones. I can't get any of them to work when I'm in here.
How do you, I mean, you gotta go turn it on? Like, how does that work?
Oh, no. I don't know.
Yeah. See, we're lost, man. We're lost.
I'm like, that's okay. I'm just going to have no fingerprints anymore.
It's called Auto Clicker on.
Yeah, I know. It's on my
Yep.
phone.
Yeah.
You have to set it.
Free.
What it is in the settings, you have to set the interval of how much you want to click and what time frame for how long. If you set it too quick, obviously
Yeah, the whole
TikTok. Yeah, the whole thing. What it is it will do it. The problem is you don't want to click it too fast because if you do that, it'll show up in the room, but the minute you bounce out and come back in, it'll reset itself. So it has to be a certain interval that TikTok will think that you're actually tapping on the screen.
Okay, listen. I'm gonna need everybody to download that app. 1, 2, 3, go.
Could you imagine 1 million likes every like?
Oh my
I
god,
feel
that's
like,
awesome.
listen, here I am making like, oh, I have a goal of 150. Listen, I need everyone to download that app, and we should set some crazy goals. Like, I want to get to 5 million, and like, you know what I mean? I think that's so funny.
God, people would rip their hair out if you got that many likes.
Oh my lord.
I'd rip my hair out if I got that many likes. What is the app called, Sam? The app is what?
It's called
Mouse
Auto.
auto clicker.
It's free. You just
It's
have to
called-
watch a 1-minute video to activate it.
What is it called?
Auto Clicker.
That's it? Just auto clicker?
Yeah.
Oh, well, there you go. Look, Mercy's got it up there. Oh, Lydia's going to get it now. Yes, let's all go get it now. This way, you just don't have to blame me for the arthritis. While I
Okay, Sam, you know I'm going to be screen sharing with you later, and you're going to be walking me through that crap.
Okay, sounds good.
Absolutely. I'm going to have Sam
Everybody a rhythm today.
tonight.
Yeah, I'm gonna have Sam and Pink teach me how to make videos where like music or like I can like dance to something because I owe you one.
You.
Yes, I
let's
do.
not talk about- we're not going to talk about that in public, though. We're all going to act like we didn't hear that one.
No, I just owe Ivory a dance video. And so yeah, but I can't like I don't know how to play the music and have it match what I'm doing while I'm videoing. Like I'm telling you, I don't. And so yeah. Yeah, so Sam and Pink are so good at videos and stuff. It's ridiculous. These two are like they have genius minds.
Mercy just said, "Everyone get the app. Everyone get the app. I will not pay for workman's comp for hurt fingers." Yes, Mercy. That's what I'm saying. Look
Go,
at Mercy
Mercy.
working overtime in the mod department. I will not pay workman's comp for injured fingers. So download the app. It makes life that much easier.
Yeah,
Unless
we
you're
already
like
tried
me,
to
everyone-
put in for carpal tunnel surgery and she refused. She refused.
No, absolutely not happening here. Mm-mm. I can't. That's so funny. But guys, it is 2:00. I gotta go. I have a meeting in like 20 minutes. But I appreciate everybody being here. This was really fun just to hop on in the middle of the day. Thank you, Rocky, Archie, Pam, Sam, everybody who was up here, Steffi, everybody who contributed to the conversation. I appreciate you. Everybody in the chat who also contributed to the conversation. Guys, I appreciate you so much. I see you. I enjoyed the conversation. To all of my mods, thank you so much for working, keeping my chat clean. I appreciate you. And for everybody who's got arthritis, I more than appreciate you all. Thank you guys for helping me reach
Thank
my
you all
goal.
for the gifts and stuff too.
Thank you for the gifts and
Yes,
thank you
thank
for the
you.
opportunity.
If you guys are all new here and you haven't followed, make sure you give a follow and follow everybody on the panel. The conversation is amazing. And guys, I will be going live sometime tonight. So I was
All right. Bye.